So we are back in the shop today, and I got some bobbins that are getting ready to get wound. I got the magnets in. Now I said I was going to show me putting these magnets in, and I started to, but then it's a process to get these things in. These things fit tight, and they take a little bit to get in, so I just went ahead and got them in. Now on this one you can see I got that third eyelet there, which usually they only come with two, like that. And I got the third one up on the top. You can see it better from the back side. And the reason I got that on there is because this is on the bridge I'm going to do the coil tap, or the split. I just call it a split, but it's a coil tap. So we're going to make this basically, I call it a splittable pickup. Everybody else wants to call it a coil tap. It is a coil tap, but I just call it, it's just easy for me to call it splittable. Putting half the wire on, running into there, and then putting the other half on. Kind of like a humbucker, but it still has hum because they're both going the same direction, and they both got the same polarity. They're both going to be south polarity on this one. So basically I'm just splitting this pickup in half. This thing will be coming in, hopefully when it's done, it should be coming in about 8.5, 8.8 ohms, and then with the split, the split will be like 4.4 ohms. So that's the bridge pickup. The neck pickup is going to be 7.2 to 7.4. Should be 7.2 to 7.4. And it's not, there's not going to be no coil tap or no split. It's a straight up 7.2. So you're looking at a bridge or a neck being 7.2 to 7.4. The bridge is going to be 8.5 to 8.8 is what I'm shooting for. And it should be pretty close to that anyways. This is the V-mod set that I'm winding. So this is like a prototype set. So, and this is the set that I'm potentially giving away when I get 2,000 subscribers. So with that being said, we're going to start off with the neck pickup. I'm going to put some double stick tape on the bottom of this thing. We're going to stick it on the winder. Now I'm not going to show me winding it, basically because it's a hassle to set up the camera, number one, and number two, once you see about 15 seconds of winding, it's boring. It's just watching a coil go around and around for thousands of winds, basically about 10 or 15 minutes of just a coil going like that. So it's not really entertaining once you've seen it. I've showed it before in other videos. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the double stick tape on this, get the wire started, get it wound, and then I'll come back when this one's done. We'll talk about it, about what it comes in at and everything, and then we'll come back through and start to wind the bridge pickup. Straight off the winder, we have the neck pickup that is wound. Now this thing did not come, I was expecting to get a lot more wounds on this thing than what I got on it, and I'll tell you the reason I couldn't. But what I was shooting for was right around about 8,500 winds on this thing, and I'm about 700, 800 wounds short, and I can't get any more on there. I mean, if you look at it, it is stacked to the brim. I barely got what I got on it, so I'm about 700 wounds short, which is going to give me a lower output, but that's fine. But if you look here at the top where the magnets are sticking up, see how much room was up on top there? And I didn't really realize it. I didn't really pay that much attention to it. But I could have took that top up. This is my low magnet here. I could have took that top up to where this low magnet was almost level. And if I'd have done that, I could have easily got to 700 and probably another 300 after that. Probably got a total of 1,000 more wounds on there had I done that. And I didn't. I seen it was a little bit low, but I thought it'd be good enough, to be honest with you. And it just got me short on my winds. So I'm about 700 shy of 85. I'm about, I don't know, about 7,600 winds, I guess. Something like that, 7,700 winds. So originally, I was hoping this thing would come in at the 7.2 to 7.4 range. And I haven't actually soldered it up yet, so I can't tell. I won't solder it till they're both done. I'll solder them at the same time. But my estimates are it's going to come in about a 6.7 in that area. 6.6, 6.7, maybe a 6.8. So just a smidgen under that 7.2/7.4 I wanted. And like I said, that's just because that magnet's up on top. I could have raised that top fiberboard piece up. You know, you'd be surprised how much a 1/16 of an inch makes. That's a lot of wire you can get on a 1/16 of an inch. So that's the problem there. Now, we'll solder this up whenever we're done with the bridge pickup. We're going to go work on the bridge pickup now. And this is more of what I'm talking about when I talk about the height. See how that pull piece is almost level with the top? That's how that other one should have been, and you can see the difference. And I seen it was like that, but I didn't really think it'd make that big of a difference, because you're not going to see that anyways, because there's a chrome cover goes over that neck pickup. But you can see the difference, and if I had this one up as high as this one, then I would have easily got my 700 winds, and possibly got another 300 or 400 on top of that. If I wanted to, I wouldn't have put that much on, but if I'd wanted to. But this one's done. We'll solder it up here in a second. Once we get this one done, we're going to go wind this one real quick, get this one done. We'll come back, solder them both up, and then we'll give you a readout, and that'll pretty much finish it up. And just off the winder, we have our bridge pickup. So, bridge pickup, neck pickup. Now I haven't soldered these up yet. I'm getting ready to solder them right now. So, solder these up. Once I get them soldered up, I'll put the wires in. They're going to have a green ground, a red hot, and then on this one will have a white split. This one will have the same thing, a green ground and a red hot. And then we'll come back and I'll throw them on the ohms meter, and we'll give you a readout of what each pickup is going to bring, and then we'll be done. So welcome back to my messy bench, and I just ran out of solder, so I got to buy new solder, or more solder. So we got my wires hooked up. Red's hot, green's ground, and white is split on the bridge pickup. And on the neck pickup, we've got green is ground, red is split. These are hooked up, and we're going to test them here in a second. So on my neck pickup, I came in 700 wounds shy. Now we was originally shooting for a 7.2 to 7.4, but whenever I got 700 wounds short, I said it's going to be about a 6.6, 6.7, 6.8 in that area, in the high sixes. So what I got, and this is what we got on that one. So we've got a hot and the ground. And that's what we got. We got a 6.7 on that neck pickup. Now I just soldered them, so I expect that to drop down to like a 6.6, maybe a 6.5, but it should say right around a 6.6, because the heat does make it read a little bit higher than it really is. So that's the neck pickup, and like I said, it's a little bit less than I wanted it, but once I make the next one and I raise this top up to give me that 3/30 seconds, or not 3/30 seconds, 1/30 seconds, or a 1/16 of an inch, gap, that'll easily get that 700 winds. So we can get this up to the 7.2 to 7.4 that we're looking for. Now on this bridge, I want to talk about this bridge for a second. Now, I started winding this thing, and the original plan was to do 8.4 to 8.8 ohms is what my plan was to do. But once I got really close to the number where my windings was, I noticed that there's a lot of room on this bobbin. A lot of room. There's still a lot of room on here. And my thought was, when I got close to that number, this bobbin was going to be full, and I won't be able to put no more on it. But the problem was, it wasn't full. It's not a problem, but I seen it wasn't full, so I started thinking, well, if this is going to be 8.8 with this many winds, I could probably put another 2,000 wounds on this thing and get this thing close to a 10 ohm pickup. So I decided to put on more wounds than what was called for and see if I get this thing up into the 10.0 ohm range. So that's what I did. So I end up winding this thing about 2,000, about 1,800 or 2,000 wounds more than what I was supposed to. And because of that, I got a bridge pickup that instead of coming in at 8.4 or to 8.8, it is coming in, if I can get my wires figured out here, got ground, we got a hot at 10.1. So this thing's starting to cool down. When I first pulled it off the winder and soldered it, it was a 10.3, so it's dropped to 10.1. So that's probably where it's going to stay, at a 10.1 on the full pickup. And when you talk about the split, when I go to split the pickup, or coil tap it, whatever you're going to say it, we're getting a nice 5.5 on the coil tap. And like I said, these numbers might drop a little bit because, like I said, I soldered them, so they're heated up more than they, normal. But they're not going to drop by that much. That might drop to a 5.4 and be set there to 5.4. So the cool thing about doing prototype pickups is there's nothing set in stone. So if I decide I want to throw on more wounds or less wounds or whatever, I can do that, and that's fine because they're not an ordered set for someone. It's something, prototype I'm doing. So this is it. I'm getting ready to go wax pot these things. Once I get them wax potted, then we can put a base plate on this thing, put a chrome cover on this thing, and basically get ready to throw them in the guitar to do a little demo of a. So this is called the V-Mod set, and basically what that is, I call it the vintage modified set, the V-Mod set, but it's actually basically a vintage and modern, a vintage modern set. But vintage modified sounds better to me, so I'm calling it the vintage modified set, the V-Mod set. So that is it, and the next video you see should be me demoing these pickups in the demo guitar that I got set up. And I think that's it, the V-Mod set. And if these things sound good, which they will, they'll be on my reverb page, hopefully within the next a week or so. And these will run right around 75 bucks a set, is what I'm thinking, 75 bucks a set. So that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, there's links in the description box below, my reverb page, my Facebook page, and like, share, comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.